I kissed the guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet. So.
Oh man. Well,
I
I
killed
hope.
him about 5 minutes later, but
I mean, it's Gladiator.
that's glad the kiss of death.
The point that I want to make is I find it very eye-opening that Denzel, he stated that he did not want to kiss Julia Roberts because she was a white woman and that his fan base were black women and they would have felt alienated if they would have saw Denzel's romantic interests be anything other than a black woman.
I mean, that's about what it was.
Hey, I I'm trying not to get in trouble. I'll be real with you. There's a lot of things I want to say. All right, y'all. So Denzel Washington is in a new movie, Gladiator 2 or 3, something like that. I think Gladiator 2. I don't know. It's a role that he played in film school, I guess, when he was like 22. So now he's like 70 years old and he's playing the same role again in Gladiator 2, right? So now he's doing his little rounds, his little media rounds and you know, this, that, and the third. He did an interview on Gaiety. Now, if you don't know what Gaiety is, it's a media outlet specifically for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and the queer community. All right. So he was doing an interview with Gaiety and he revealed that he had a quote unquote gay kiss in Gladiator, but they cut it out because they were too afraid. Apparently, they weren't ready to reveal Denzel lip locking with a dude on the big screen. That's kind of what he's implying. I don't know if you let me know if I'm pushing too much, but that's kind of what it seems like he's applying. Let's watch this interview. And then, so the director, just to ruin the video right here. The director said this was all BS. The director said it never happened. Director said Denzel's capping. But then on the premiere, so after this interview aired, just recently, during the premiere, during the red carpet, a reporter asked him the question again, and Denzel doubled down, stating that it did, in fact, happen. So I don't understand I have a lot to say about it, but I don't understand like the back and forth in terms of like Denzel said it happened and then the director said it never happened and that's BS. I'm not really sure what's going on. Nonetheless, you know I have a lot to say about it. So let's start with this interview right here.
I actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken.
I loved the film. I wore rings and inspired by your character.
Yeah, I see you
I
got
love
all
when
10 fingers. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Double sometimes, you got to get them all in. Like every time.
What about the earring game?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Right.
I mean, not yours is probably your game is probably better than mine, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be as cool as him because really he's very cool. And I wanted to get started in a recent Q&A that you did. You mentioned your excitement to work with Ridley Scott and that he was a big part of you wanting to be in this film. So I'm curious, is there any other directors that you would sign on to a project in a heartbeat if you saw their name?
I've been having great conversations, or I've had some great conversations with Paul Thomas Anderson and Steve McQueen, Ryan Coogler, all great directors. And I don't know, I would love to work with them.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see something in the future. And you work alongside Paul Mescal, and I have to ask, is it difficult being tough and sometimes ruthless to him when he seems like such a sweetheart? Your character has to kind of get into him sometimes.
Yeah, you're being a little sensitive. He's a sweetheart. He's not a sweetheart.
Oh.
In the context of what we're talking about, get into him is kind of crazy. That's just me personally. That was kind of crazy. Maybe I'm just immature, but that was a lot.
Well, you would know better than me, so you tell him.
No, I'm supposed to kill him. He's just a sweetheart. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. This world. No, I'm sorry. What was the question? You said what? You said was it hard to want to kill him because?
Yes. Was it hard?
No. I want power. I want everything. I want it all. So no, it wasn't hard. Well, no, I can't give it away. It didn't how it turns out, but
Right. We'll have to see who wins in the end. But you were on your own side. I love to see that. And your character makes a few remarks throughout the film about having a relationship with other men in the film. So I wanted to ask, how gay is the Roman Empire?
The entire empire, or I
What?
actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken.
I was going to ask because I just heard about the Paul and Pedro forehead kiss that apparently got cut from the movie.
I'm not sure about that one, but yeah,
Oh,
I kissed a guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet.
oh man. Well,
I
I
killed
hope.
him about 5 minutes later, but
I mean, it's Gladiator.
it's Gladiator. The kiss of death.
And I know we can't say a lot about what goes on in the film, but there is a prop that you use towards the end.
So just to kind of debate myself, because there's nobody else here to debate with, I guess one could say in Denzel's defense, the Roman Empire, they was on that. They was really into that. Big, big freak off vibes in the Roman Empire. They were on that. So, if he's playing that part, I one can say it's not out of reason that his lips cross the lips of another man on set. One could say that that's not out of reason. But on the other side, one could also say that they got him. They done got Denzel. They done got Denzel. They done turned, bruh. You go from Training Day to this. They got him. That's what one could say, right? Ridley Scott, the director, he said that it did not happen. He actually said it's a bunch of BS, is what he said more specifically. He said it's BS. It never happened. But you just seen the interview. And when I like I said, I'm going to show you Denzel again confirming that this happened. And here's the thing. Once again, I don't want to make this like a huge deal. Do whatever you want to do. We've already established this, right? Do whatever you want to do. We've already established this. You have free will. God has given you free will, and you can choose to do whatever you want to do because God has given you free will to make those decisions. The point that I want to make is I find it very eye-opening that Denzel, he stated that he did not want to kiss Julia Roberts because she was a white woman, and that his fan base were black women, and they would have felt alienated if they would have saw Denzel's romantic interests be anything other than a black woman. So I find that interesting that he's okay displaying this kiss with a man when a lot of people look at Denzel in this industry as being one of the ones that, despite all the things and craziness that we see and all the Diddy parties and allegations and just all the crazy wickedness that we see going on in Hollywood, all the perversion, a lot of people see Denzel as being the one that stands out amongst the group in Hollywood as being this, like, quote unquote, I don't want to say like righteous because, only Jesus Christ is righteous, but they see him as standing on morals and Christian values. So it's interesting. But once again, there's a lot of individuals who say that they're Christian, but they also believe that it's not a sin. And we've had these conversations multiple times before. I literally just made a video about it when Marcus Rogers debated those two pastors. So there's a lot of different ways that we can go about this conversation. But I want to play this real quick. Do y'all remember this?
Julia Roberts' character and Denzel's character actually become lovers. Denzel changed the story so that they don't have any kind of physical or intimate relationship. And then at the end of the film, there's this moment where they embrace and you think that they're going to kiss. Denzel chose not to kiss Julia Roberts. He felt that if he kissed a white woman on screen, it would kind of alienate his audience at the moment, which was made up of mostly black women. So he changed it, and they ended up just hugging in the end.
Once again, there was a clip that went viral. I don't have the clip, but there was a clip that went viral. I think Denzel was like leaving a party or something, or a Diddy party or something. Somebody asked him a question about, Diddy party. And isn't he the one who famously said that you got to leave before midnight? Wasn't that Denzel's term, that you got to leave before midnight because that's when the crazy stuff starts going on? So this is like the overarching perspective that a lot of people have on Denzel, right? So it's interesting. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, but it truly is interesting. You know what I'm saying? This is Denzel just a few hours ago on the red carpet. The reporter asked him about all this rumors and drama, and the director, essentially calling him a liar and whatnot. Listen to what he had to say.
Big headline about a certain scene, a kiss that was omitted from the movie. Why do you think they did that?
It wasn't even a big deal, really. I mean, I that's about what it was. And I kissed him on the hands.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sponsoring. Nice to see you.
So I don't know why I did that. I'm acting like I got a weave or something on when you're patting my head. Yeah, man. Hey. I'm trying not to get in trouble. I'll be real with you. There's a lot of things I want to say. I think maybe here's what I should do. I think I'm going to keep a list of all the topics that I really want to just speak freely on, but I can't. And I'm going to save those topics. And then once a week, I'm just going to go over all of those topics on Patreon, and I'm not going to hold back. I think that's what I need to do, because here's what I'm going to just end up having this conversation with my friends. I'm going to have it with my wife. I'm going to end up having this conversation anyway, because I want to talk about it. But in this environment that we're in right now, in this format that you're watching me, it's hard to fully express everything that I want to say. So I'm just going to say, become a member on Patreon. Help support the mission. Help us grow a Christian media network so that we can produce high quality content, movies, TV shows, feature films, documentaries, interviews. Go to Patreon. Go to Patreon. But aside from that, I'm very much interested I'm very much interested to see what y'all think about it in the comments. I'm very much interested. So go ahead and be honest in the comments and let me know what you think, all right? I'm out, y'all.